So, one thing I really want to share about Senegal is there's a culture called the Baye Fall or the Yaye Fall, and you'll often see them with different beatings. This was a gift from a Baye Fall brother when I did some energy healing with him in his home and helped him to clear a lot of his sadness and past traumas. So it's a very special gift to me. But the Baye Fall, why I wanted to speak about that and share about that is because their intention is very beautiful. They get together and they sing a chant, La Ilallah, which is basically Allah, God. They sing God's name, and it's a very beautiful community. And it has a downside of alcoholism and lack of being responsible with children that they bear, and they're allowed to have up to 4 women partners. So there's a lot of children that don't have the mother or father figure, or they just give them away to the marabout to go and serve them, which basically collect money, and then it all gets brought back to a spot and all goes up the line. So that was really hard to stomach, and being around children constantly that are hungry and they don't know anything but that lifestyle was very challenging. But I got to sit in one of the villages whom are very connected and care very much about how their village functions and what's happening in their village. And I spoke to, in the heart of the Baye Fall Central, where a lot of them would meet and have medicine or cannabis. And I would share different philosophies, or feel love Sophies, as I call it. Everything from, any kind of violence or aggression that you put out there is not a good example for the children. The heart of it is really what a Baye Fall or Yaye Fall. Baye Fall is for male, Yaye Fall is female. It's really what it's about, caring for other people and being a good human being, really at the heart of it. And so it was really an honor to sit and share philosophies about being loving, and to be the only one to speak up when the head of the place was being aggressive with his daughter. And she's backed up against a wall, and he was yelling and taking swings, and I was the only one who got up and went, and they tried to stop me at first, and I said, you're the example here for everyone here. And that's not okay. Even if you're teaching your daughter something, that's not the way to do it. And just that experience alone was, it woke something up in me, because I was always afraid of anger. And in the world of the 4 elements, the 4 basic elements of wind, or water, fire, earth, and air. Fire, I would say, has been my weakest. So Africa was really about helping me embrace that and walking on a land of fire, so to speak. So in that situation, it really awoke something in myself, and I realized that I could still use my training, but there were times when I questioned, being peaceful, I wanted to avoid violence as much as possible, as some of the spiritual mentors that I've followed on YouTube or in different mediums had specified, avoid unnecessary violence. And so that for me was a big one. And what I really love about the African culture, in my experience, is people there genuinely listen. And when you have a point to what you're saying, they really do listen, and they say, oh, you have a point, and you can see their whole context and how they look at life just shift in a moment. And Yeah, that's really what I wanted to share. Anyways, I'm very grateful for everything that Africa gifted me in all forms of energy and vibrations, or in less woo-woo talking, in lessons, life lessons, and in kindness. There's such a love in Africa that I had not ever experienced in my own country here in Canada or on the American continent.